Hello, I just wanted to make a video so that I could explain some of these homework problems to you because I know um, that you're having trouble with them. So I think numbers 1 and 2 you attempted but didn't get the right answer. So um, let's see. We've got a picture down here showing a triangle, and the information given to you from number 1 says MXM is 4. So that's 4. It's not a great. So if I were to write it on here, this would be 4. You can see what I'm putting. And then XN is 6. This is 6. Now these two lines inside the triangle are parallel. It's saying that NZ is 9. And we have to find XY, which is this entire length. So just be very careful that when you're reading the information, you're kind of applying that to the picture that you're looking at, which means if I'm doing this number 1, setting up my ratios, I need to figure out what MY is before I can figure out XY. So, like I said, we can turn the triangle in a way where the parallel lines become kind of like the fraction bar. So the correct ratios, if we're solving proportions, would be 6/9 equals 4/x. And once we do that, we can cross multiply. 4 times 9 is 36. 36 equals 6 times x, which is 6x. Now we can divide by 6 on both sides. And when you divide by 6, 36 divided by 6 is 6. So x equals 6, but that's not your final answer because now we have to add 6 back to xm to make the entire edge for this triangle. And so it would be 4 plus 6, which that would be how we would find xy. And so xy is actually 10. Okay. Number 2 is very similar. I'm going to erase all this stuff just so we don't have a bunch of scribbles, and I'll do it in a different color. So now we're looking at number 2, and I'm going to label my picture. So xn is 6. And then xm is 2. xy, they're saying this whole thing is 10. So we're going to have to subtract to find my, which this would be 8. And now when we set up our ratios, I'm going to put it over here. It's going to be 2/8 equals 6 over what I don't know, NZ. That's what we're looking for. This is what we're looking for right here. Okay, so let's cross multiply. This is a question mark. That's what I'm looking for. So now 6 times 8 is 48. 48 equals 2x. Divide by 2 on both sides, and that's 14. So x equals 24. Sorry, 48 divided by 2 is 24. So NZ equals 24. And I know this is the teacher's manual, so you can already see the answers on there, but at least I'm working it out to show you how it's done. So that's number 2. Number 3. We've got another triangle, and we have to decide if these triangles are the segments in there A, B, and D, E are parallel. And so they're giving us some information where BC, the entire thing is 15. B to C is 15. BE is 6. So this little part is 6. DC is 12. And then AD is 8. So here's the deal. The way we know if these are parallel or not is if the parts are proportional, which means if I set these parts as ratios equal to each other and they are the same ratio, then that means I have parallel lines. So 15 minus 6 is 9, and that's how I found this 9 right here. I had to actually subtract 15 minus 6. And then now I'm going to set up my ratio. So I could write it as 6 over 9 proportional to 8 over 12. And I've got to simplify both of these to see if they are equal or not. So 6 and 9 can reduce to 2 over 3. And 8 and 12 can be reduced to 2 over 3 as well, because I can divide by 4 to get 2 over 3, which means I do have a proportional ratio. 2 over 3 equals 2 over 3. And so this equal sign checks out, which means they are parallel. Yes, they are parallel, okay? And the answer here, you can even see the answer key tells you what it is. So then over on number 4, let me clear some space so I can do number 4. Number 4, same idea. Let's label our picture. Labeling our picture is going to make a huge difference. So JK, we're looking at this triangle. JK is 15, so this entire thing is 15. JM is 5. LK, this entire thing is 13. And PK is 9, which means I have to subtract to find kind of this missing part here, and I have to find this missing part here. So 15 minus 5 is 10. MK is 10. 13 minus 9 is 4. So LP right here is 4. Now I'm going to set up my ratios. 5 over 10, and I have another ratio, 4 over 9. So I am going to simplify these to see if they come out to be the same. 5 over 10 can be reduced to 1/2. 4 over 9 cannot be reduced. So these two are not equal because when I reduce them, they're not the same fraction. And so my answer would be no, they are not parallel. Not parallel. And this is the justification right here. This math work is the justification because they are not equal, they're not proportional. Okay. Number 5, looking at the mid segment. So we've got a big triangle. There are 2 lines cut inside the triangle, but one of them is the mid segment. The directions say JH is the mid segment, which means this is the mid segment. That's what we have to find. We have to find X anyway. Well, in class, we talked about how the mid-segment is always half of the distance of the line that it's parallel to. So if KM is 22, the mid-segment would just be half of that. So it's 11. The answer is 11. Over here, the mid-segment we're looking at is right here, 5. And we're comparing it to LM, the line across from it that's parallel to it. That's X. That's what we're looking for. And so the relationship between the two is that the mid segment is half of the longer segment that it's parallel to. So we're going to work oppositely. 5, what is half of 5? Well, 10, or sorry, what is 5 half of, right? 10. So 10 would be what X is. And so X equals 10 right here. Number 7, it's a word problem, but we just have to fill out the information that we have, and we're going to solve it just like what we had above. So we're looking at the map, and it's actually labeled for us, which is really nice. And it says, if the distance from 3rd Avenue to City Mall along State Street is 3,201 feet, find the distance between 5th Avenue and City Mall. So where is City Mall? City Mall is right here. 5th Avenue is right here. And we're trying to find the distance along Union Street. So this is what we're looking for. Question mark right here. That is what we're looking for. And it does say that the distance along 3rd Avenue, from 3rd Avenue all the way to City Mall along State Street, which if we read this State Street is 3,201. So I'm going to label this. This entire distance is 3,201. So if I subtract, I have to first to find this little side that we're missing along State Street. We have to subtract 3,201 minus 1,056 in order to get that side. So I'm going to plug it in on my calculator. And that is 2,145. Now I can set up my ratios. That means 1,056 over 2,145 is proportional to this side over here, 1,152, I believe. If I can see this correctly, it's hard to see. Maybe it's 62. I think it's actually 62. My picture is very small. Over X. What's along Union Street there. And then I can cross multiply and solve. So once you do that, it depends. Hopefully I'm reading this correctly, that it's 1,162. Let me plug it in real fast. Yes, it is 62. So when I cross multiply and divide, X equals 2,360.3 rounded to the nearest tenth. And that is the answer there. These last two, I'm just going to set up the ratios for you, and then I'm not going to solve it because my computer is about to run out of battery. So when you see that these little tallies right here show they are equal, the segments are the same distance, I can set them up as equal to each other. So this would be 3y equals 1/2 y plus 20. And then the opposite side would be 20 minus 3x equals 2x minus 5. This side is the same thing. I could set these as equal to each other and these as equal to each other and solve, because they are congruent and the marks tell you they're congruent. So hopefully this helps. Hopefully it's not too messy, but hopefully this kind of answers some of your questions and kind of is able to help you with the homework that you didn't know how to do. I will stop it here. Have a good day. Bye.